to Real Talk. Here on the show, we like to keep it real, as the name implies. Today, we'll be discussing keeping up with your dreams and others' expectations of you. On the panel with me today, I have
Yewande Adalimore.
Femi Kolawole.
And Ajola Yolanda.
Thank you all for joining me.
You're welcome.
My question is, are you living your dream? What do you think about following your passion, your God-given talent, versus keeping up with the society's expectations of you? Are you living your dream?
Absolutely, absolutely. To answer your question briefly, I would say yes, I'm living my dreams. If you had asked me this question like 2 years ago, absolutely not, because I was living my dad's dream. My dad's dream was for me to become a doctor, and anyone that knows my story knows that I'm a daddy's girl. I wanted to please my dad, and he wanted me to be a doctor, so I chose to go the doctor route, and I tried it for about a year, and I knew it wasn't for me. And even when I would interview to go to medical school, the lady that asked me, "Are you sure you don't want to become a lawyer?" And I was like, no, I'm interviewing because I want to come to your school. I want to become a doctor. And so many people would ask me along the way that, what do you want to do? And my first reaction is, I want to become a lawyer. I love to talk. I like to fight for justice. It's what I want to do. But my dad wanted me to become a doctor. I wanted to do it. But along the route, I found myself, and I changed my career goal. And now I'm in law school. And law school is so tasking, but it's easy. It's not because law is an easy subject, but because I love what I do. Right. And there's a saying that when you do something you love, you never have to work a day in your life. And I'm not working. I'm living my life, and I love it.
That's good. So, Miss Adam, what do you think about that? Choosing to follow your dream versus keeping up with society's expectations?
Absolutely following your dreams. I personally believe each and every one of us here, we are here on earth for a reason. You know, you're here to impact the world and to help people, but you get to live your own life. You wake up every morning without the assistance of anyone. You make decisions and take on choices by yourself. So definitely following your dreams, really, that's all that matters. Society's expectations, really, because everyone's gonna have an opinion.
Right.
Some people are gonna expect you to do one thing, and other people are gonna expect you to do another thing. And as young people, I feel like we have so many people that have such great impact on our lives that I feel like if you decide to please everyone, you're not gonna be happy. So you have to follow your dreams and live your dreams.
That's very true. I see the passion in your voice when you talk about absolutely you have to follow your dreams. But that brings me to the question, what if your dreams are not marketable, in the sense that you're doing so much, it's what you would do this in your sleep, you're passionate about something, but for right now it's not bringing money. And we have to pay the bills. Sure. What do you think about that? I mean, what do you think about doing something marketable? What do you think about, I totally understand what you say, follow your dreams versus society's expectations. But in the meantime, while we're trying to follow that dream, it's not bringing money, it's not paying my bills. How do I deal with that?
First of all, I wouldn't advise anyone to let go of your dreams because you can't make it in life. If it means getting an on-the-side job or doing something on the side as you follow your dreams. See, some people have, dreams to help the poor and help the needy. Now, as much as you would want to do that, you cannot live your whole life based on that and then expect your bills to be paid somewhere. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You have to make that decision. If it means, volunteering part-time and working part-time, just so that you don't become one of those poor people that don't have a roof over their head.
And someone else is trying to help you.
As you follow your dream. So definitely, I would say if your dreams are not marketable, still follow your dreams on the side and have something doing on the side that doesn't take you totally away from your dreams. Follow your dreams, do something on the side, but make sure as you're doing something on the side to pay the bills, you're still following your dreams.
Still following your dreams. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Femi, so what's your take on this?
Well, in terms of dream, I can say I'm on the right track. When it comes to, am I living my dream? Am I there yet? No. But I believe strongly that I'm on the right track. Now, on a general basis, I believe certain things are involved when it comes to becoming successful in terms of your dream. Number one, I believe in the will of God. Number two, I believe in talent. Number three, I believe in passion. See, but in all those lists, the most important is to be sure if God is in it. And to add to that is the economy. Because most of the time, if you're doing something and you know, certain dreams, for instance, if I want to become a pastor, I'm not really interested in the consumers because I know I'm going to be maintaining a particular flock that Jesus gives me, you get. But if I want to be somebody that wants to do McDonald's, for instance, I have to consider the people that live in my area, okay? So I believe in that too. But one thing that I believe is if I know that God is in my dream, my choice, at the beginning, first 10 years, it may not bring nothing.
Right.
And just like she said, find something so that you don't become, somebody people now begin to help.
Right.
And make sure you are at least average. Why you keep on pushing, even though it's not bringing nothing. But at least you're 100% sure God is in it. Then keep on pushing it. And I know, some such person is going to finally get there. Yeah. So that's my view.
And to piggyback on what they both said, what type of dream are we talking about? Like, young people have to realize that you're gonna grow up someday. You're gonna pay bills, and whether you like it or not. My dream, I like to dance, but I'm not gonna become a dancer because that's my passion. You have to balance it out. When I was younger, I wanted to be so grown. Now I'm grown, I want to be younger. So enjoy it. But you have to realize that everybody has dreams. Our parents wanted to be dancers or they wanted to be something else, but they had to put that aside so they could feed us. You have to make that decision as well. Like everybody has dreams. But make sure your dream is something that can feed you and your unborn children.
Miss Yande, being a dancer can also feed you.
That's
too.
right.
How many dancers do you know on Forbes list? Let's start with that.
Well, I mean,
name
it's
one.
a start.
Just one.
Give one.
Give one.
Dancing is a start. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, really? So, don't worry.
Following on what you're saying about that dancing would be like the dream we're talking about. If
Right.
you're really passionate about that,
Right.
and you're becoming a lawyer, but
Right.
she's saying don't quit on that dancing.
Oh, absolutely
It could
not.
still do something for you. You know, it's still something you're passionate about.
Right.
But I also hear from you that you're passionate about law. You're looking at the thing that's more marketable
Right.
versus just doing the
Right.
dancing. It's not
Right.
going to pay
You
the
have to
bills
be
for
smart
right
about
now.
your decisions, like absolutely, and I totally agree with what she said. I dance on the side, but I don't expect to make money out of it. I mean, when I say dancing, I mean like praising God for that. But like, I don't expect to make money out of it, but it's something I love to do, and being in law school doesn't take that away from me. You know, so that's right.
Yeah, just to cite a personal, example, for instance.
Yeah.
Like music is my passion. I do music full time. Still, I'm pursuing my goals, and I'm not like the music has to bring me money. As a matter of fact, it doesn't bring me money, but it gives me joy because it is talent I have and it's something I have passion for. And on the side, I'm doing what I believe God wants me to finally be. So, like, I'm just saying there has to be a way you can blend what you have passion for and what you believe God is leading you to in terms of career. So one should not go down because of the other.
Right.
I just want to chip that in.
Yeah. And just to sum up what both of them have said, I think I want to say, whatever you do, you just have to be wise, really. You have to apply wisdom. You can't say because this is your dream, this is what you've always wanted to do, since you were like 2 years old and now, it's no longer marketable, but you still want to do it.
Things change. You
change.
get better. You know
Exactly.
better as you grow older.
True. So I think the bottom line is, as you try to balance being, what society wants you to become, as you try to balance, pursuing your goals and also trying to balance what is marketable, I would say be wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep watching. Keeping it real. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Real Talk. My guests are going to be answering for me. What are some challenges they faced growing up in America, being raised by African parents? What are some things that you went through?
I think you want to skip me for this one. Can we start with
Well, as a way of answering it personally, I did not grow up in America, and my parents are not here.
Okay.
However, I live with Africans. When I came to the States, I lived with Africans. I still live with Africans now, so I can say a little bit. Well, I said the challenge is usually and now I'm going to be comparing.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to compare Africans to Asians.
Okay.
You see, I see a lot of, you know, people don't want to help people. That's my view. In the African, those that grow up within the African sector, especially when you are not like biologically related. I see this segregation of, oh, I can't help you, oh, I've helped millions of people and they disappointed me. But in the Asian folks, they are so cooperative that they send people that are not related to them to school so that they become something great. And those people too, they bring other people up that they are not related to in terms of blood, but you know, the race has, you know, made them close to some extent. You know, so I see that separation within we Africans, and I see a lot of eye service. I'm just saying that's my view, you know, in the African, you know, scenario. So
I had never
that's my
even
view.
thought about that. I hadn't thought about that.
I actually, I don't disagree with you. I have a, I guess I would say I have a different experience.
Okay.
I didn't get here till I was 16, and when I got here, I was just with my dad. My mom wasn't here, so I'm a young girl, and I'm without my mom and just my dad. What does an old man know with a 16-year-old girl? So pretty much, just me and my brothers. And I started going to the House on the Rock, and pretty much I felt at home. I felt like the Africans in that church, which is mostly Africans, helped me out. They kind of brought me up. They kind of took me under their arms, and they were like, each and every one of them, I could take a little bit of my mom in them. And I find that Africans help each other. It might not be the way you want them to help you, but they help you regardless. In the way they know how to. Now, being brought up by an African parent is hard when you compare it to other nationalities.
Tell me about
It really is. But at the end of the day, what I've come to realize is that it's for your own good. My mom used to make me study. By force studying, like you must sit down there at that book, and I used to hate it. But now in law school, after that, I like to read. Like I pick up my book and I read and I enjoy it. And I remember back in those days when I was like, this woman hates me. I'm not a daughter. She was not like me. But I today I look back and I'm like, God bless that woman, because of her, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So I think when we're younger, we see it as punishment, like but when we grow older, it's actually for your own good.
True. We are making kind of really broad generalizations when we
Right.
say Africans, because now all we pretty much know is our own subculture.
Right.
The people
Yeah.
because
Right.
you have two conflicting
Right.
opinions entirely,
Right.
and it just depends on who are these Africans raising you.
and it's like
Because it's all an individual thing.
Right.
We can't generalize on Africans and we can't generalize on Asians.
Absolutely right.
So it depends on
and
who those
sorry,
people
if I
are.
can rephrase my statement.
Yeah.
Personally, people have helped me. I mean,
now the people that have like,
and that's why I said Africans. You know, I generalize, and when I say African, that means Nigerian, Ghana, Cameroon. You know, that's why I said African. But at least, even the stage I am right now, people help me because I came to America. I didn't know nobody, right? So
Yeah.
for me to be in this state today, it has been somebody, right?
Right.
But I'm talking on general basis, African
Right.
and that's why I said I was comparing to the Asian race.
That you-
I'm not saying African people are bad. I mean, they helped me to where I am today. I'm not gonna lie. So just to correct my statement, you know.
All right, thank you, Miss Adam. My questioning will go more towards compared to American children that you have seen. What are some things that you've seen that your parent or some African parents that you have seen? What differences would you see with the way they raise their children versus the way the Americans would raise their children? And I mean, how hard is it?
No, that's a very interesting question because I think the major thing I've seen as a difference between, you know, the way children in America are raised and the way the children in Nigeria are raised is discipline. You know, the way my parents discipline you or the way the parents of you guys, you know, disciplined you is totally different from the way I've seen most American parents, you know, discipline their kids.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to my boss the other day, and she was telling me about how she disciplined her own kids, and I was just laughing because she said one day she was driving and the kids were making her son was making noise, and then she actually tied his hands and his legs and told him to be quiet. Now, if my mom was the one driving, I would have gotten some backhand slaps. from the front seat.
But you see the difference is that when your mom does that to you, you understand that that's discipline, right?
That was her own way of discipline.
And it worked.
And it worked
And it
because
worked for
after
him.
that day, he knew not to make noise or disturb whenever she was driving.
Right.
Now that's one of the things I've said. I think the second, the second thing I've really noticed is the mode of interaction. The way I would talk to my mom is different from the way an American kid raised in America, or maybe a second generation Nigerian kid will talk to their parents in America. There's I don't want to say there's a disconnect, but there's a huge difference there.
Actually, the word is disconnect.
So I think those are the two major things I've noticed, in the way kids are raised, the way they discipline their kids, and in the mode of communication.
What challenges would you say you're facing growing up in America? We're talking about race, we're talking about the different culture, getting used to all of this new stuff. How have you found yourself settling in, putting all of this together to make you who you are, discovering your identity in America?
I think the first thing for me was to get a mindset change. And now when I say a mindset change in terms of I have to not get used to my usual way of thinking. Now, this is not saying it's changing my morals or my ethical values or anything. It's just changing the way I see things.
Question it. Why
Yes.
why have I always done this? So
Exactly.
yeah.
Why is it this way? Why can't it be done that way? Why do you guys do it this way and these people do it that way? So the first thing for me was change. I mean, it was hard. It was hard because, knowing my background, there are some things I say and I was like, you, or it's like, oh, why would you want to do that? It's evil. I mean, even if it's not necessarily evil, my mindset has conditioned me to think, oh, this is evil.
Yeah, because you don't know about it.
Exactly. But then you sit down, you get to think about some. There's some things I'm just like, ooh, this is spiritual. This is evil. This is from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
But then getting a mindset change and getting to understand things more has really helped me, because then I see things and I'm just like, okay, this is the reason this is happening. This is one thing led to another, and this is the cause for this effect. It's not spiritual. It's just, something happened and something led to something.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
For me, I would say I came here when I was pretty young, and at that young age, it's easy to be influenced, and it's easy to make up your mind or have your ideas based on things that are around you. So for me, at that stage, it was very important for me to know myself, find myself, and bury myself in my morals and in my beliefs, so that the things outside do not corrupt me. Now, when I say corrupt, everybody has a definition of corrupt. Like, my values are totally different from your values. It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it less. It doesn't make it high. It's different. So I had to pretty much bury myself in my morals and in my values, like the things that my parents taught me. When you greet someone, you kneel down and you greet them. That is how you greet someone. And then I had to be open-minded. I think that's one thing this culture taught me, to be open-minded, to explore other people's ideas and morals and not condemn it because it's different from mine.
Welcome back to Real Talk. What advice would you have for African parents raising children in America? People who they have a certain culture that they value and they want their children to have this. How do you think they can inculcate this, since you're growing up here and you're seeing both worlds, you're seeing both sides? What do you think?
First of all, I think you have to selectively pick what you want. You can't force down, the key word force, you can't force down everything your parents passed down to you into your kids. I think for one, it's whatever you value. So I would say select what you feel will be, what is important to you and what you feel will be beneficial to them, and pass it down. Don't force it on.
Don't force it on.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Femi, what do you think about that? How can we incorporate our culture and still be, just growing in America?
Still a Western. Okay. Well, I want us to see from this angle. A society and her culture are non-separable. I am saying that parents should let morals not be rules. You see, that's where African parents have a lot of problems. We make a lot of rules, and that's why it makes it difficult. We should make it a lifestyle.
I agree with everything they've said. However, I also want to add this. I think every parent should understand their kids. Every kid is different. What worked for A might not work for B, and what worked for B might not work for A. In my case, rules and fear worked for me. Till today, I fear and I respect my parents. Not necessarily because I fear them, but because I respect them. That fear made me have respect for them. And some of the things that they made me so afraid of, till today I cannot do it. So I think it's different. My brothers, like, they grew up over here, so you can't put that fear in them. It will backfire. So it really will. So you have to.
But you will be afraid
So you have to know your child and know what route to take with them. There's some kids you have to be really soft on and explain to them and talk to them because they will understand you. And some kids you have to put that fear by force, by fire.
True.
So.
And for the African parents, another key thing I think is you kind of have to determine what really am I getting out of this. Am I trying to raise a good person?
Right.
Or am I just trying to raise an African kid?
Right. True.
Like, do I just want him to be African in America? Am I trying to raise a good person that knows how to respect his elders, knows how to, speak politely, be well-mannered in public, or is it just about keeping the tradition, keeping the culture? And how relevant? The culture is dynamic. The culture is changing. So that culture changes when it comes to America. Thank you so much for listening to this edition of Real Talk. Our major thing that we want to pass across is keep following your dream. If it seems impossible, follow your passion. And like my guest on here said, you still need to pay your bills. Yep. So look for things that are marketable and but don't just leave your dream on the shelf, because that passion drives you to keep moving on, drives you to keep moving on. And also for African kids growing up in America, sorry, but you have to endure. And for our African parents, thank you so much for what you're doing for us. You want the best out of us. We need you also to be flexible. Raising African kids in America, there's so many challenges. And with the culture in America, how much time are kids spending with their parents? Right. But you have to be flexible. You have to know your kids, make it work. And I know it can work. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.